check, check, check. Okay. I am going to try to implement some macro mapping. So the reason we need macro mapping for this plugin is that we aren't able to, or at least I don't know of a way, to populate parameters dynamically so that the DAW can automate them. We can make a tree state and still do stuff in the plugin based off of the tree state, but those parameters won't show up in the DAW. So we need a way to automate those parameters. So we'll just create some macro knobs and you can automate those, which is what the Slate virtual mix rack does, and I'm sure the other kind of mix rack plugins do. So let's start simply by making some macro dials and putting them in the GUI. Sure, let's start with this. I don't really want an object-oriented nightmare, so I'm not going to make a separate component for all the group of dials. So we'll just put them in here. So we'll just make an array of sliders, slider, and we need, I guess we'll do 10 of them. Macro knobs. Okie dokie. We got 10 knobs in an array. We're gonna call emit macro knobs in the constructor, and then we need to actually implement it and do something. Macro knobs, okay. So very simply, just to start, we're just gonna say we're just gonna set the slider style and make them visible and stuff, and that's pretty much it. Oh, I forgot to switch. All right, here we go. All right, so I made this method called init macro knobs. And we just need to loop through them. Macro knobs. Let's see, set slider style. This is gonna be rotary, vertical drag. Make it not read only, so false. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. This is set slider style. It just has one argument, right? Yep. Okay, so knob, and then we'll do set the text box style, and that's what I was trying to type a second ago. So text box below, false for not read only, and then we'll make it like 32 by 64, or I don't know, 32 by 32. Doesn't really matter yet. Add and make visible knob. Excellent. So that should be good, and we will go into the resized and do something. All right. So we'll say width is equal to something. Get width times something. Let's start with that. Height will just be equal to width. Okay, and then I guess the X position will be similar to this. And then the Y position is going to be something like this. And let me reorder this. This is kind of bothering me. I like doing X, Y, width, and height. Okay. So we're setting an initial X, and we're going to be able to control that. We set an initial Y, able to control it, initial width, and we can control it. And then the height is just equal to the width. And we just got to loop through those dials. And where we at? Macro knobs. Knob dot set bounds. X, Y, width, and height. And then last thing we need to do is move the X over after each one. So X plus equals width for now should be fine. Okay. Seems good. All right, let's see what we get. We should also give the user the ability to name the macro knobs. Okay, here we go. It's pretty close. Okay, so first is X, then Y. So let's make the size correct first. You know what? I wonder if I should do the text box left. Or maybe this middle section doesn't have to be this big. I don't know. It seems kind of big. Let's take away the text box. And because maybe we could do it ourselves and it would look better. That looks pretty good. Let's I'm not sure. This looks a little funny. Okay, we'll go with it for now. So let's do this. Let's see, 05. And that was also around 05. And we can do this. A bigger space between them. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's all of them. That looks pretty good. That was pretty. All right. Okay, I guess that's good. 026 and then 0.9. Okay, so that's good for now. Okay, so now we got those there. Let's make a base dial that we can put our logic into. This is something I didn't do in the other project, and I think it'll make things easier. Let me close DSP and globals. So we got editor view. Okay, we need a new folder. So let's do widgets. Okay. Then we will go in here, I guess, and yeah, I'll just do it from here. So let's do okay, I guess we'll do a CPP end header. I think I'm gonna call this slider because we'll want to be able to use this whether it's a vertical slider or a knob or whatever. Yes, okay. Okay. So this is gonna be what do I need? I guess Juice GUI basics probably. And while we're here, do the same thing in the CPP. Then let's get rid of that little yellow warning. Okay. So this is base slider. Public base slider. And then a destructor, which is an override. Okay, and then I think for now, all we're gonna override is paint. Okay. Paint. Okay, that should be good for now. Okay, so let's go in the editor and see if we can do this instead. Widgets. Base slider, okay, and I just remembered we need to actually, in here, in paint, call the paint method for slider so that it actually paints it. So now when we build, we should see basically no change. Except that now it's a slider that we can put our own logic into. Okay, looks good. All right, let me go to the other project. And I'm going to grab the macro mapping. So I think I want to change the folder structure as well. So we'll go to source. We got DSP GUI globals. I guess the macro is kind of shared, so I don't know. We could do engine. Then I guess there's not going to be that many things in here, so maybe I won't make folders. We'll see as it goes on. So there's macro map, and we should see that, and let's get rid of some stuff. Let's see here. I guess the macro map member, I think, goes in the processor. Yeah. So let's just hit include. Let's see what happens now. What's wrong with audio processor value tree state? Okay, nothing. It just took forever to. Okay, so this is probably going to be the only function we have to really change. Maybe, I don't know. Let's see. So basically we have an update method, which the processor will call so that when a macro dial is turned, it will also move the associated parameter with it. We have a method to add a macro assignment. Then you pass in the ID. In fact, I'm going to rename this so that, there can't be that many references to this. Okay, well, we'll do this param ID so that if we forget what we're doing, we'll have that. We have a way to delete them. Let's do the same thing, param ID. We have our state, whether it's on or off. We can set the learn state. And so what we'll do is that when we set macro mapping on, it'll, a color will pop up on top of it. And then when it's off, it'll go away. And let's see, anything else that we need to change. This save state and load state may or may not work the way it is. So I guess we'll just see. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Okay, very easy. Okay, so basically what we're going to want is to right click on the dial to put it, to change the mode. And then if it's on, it'll wait for you to right click a control in the GUI, I think. So what we will do set learn state. So let's see, where is this used? Okay. Okay. I do see one annoying thing that may pop up that's going to be difficult. But let's just start with turning the macro mode on and off at least. So if we go into the editor, what we'll do is use an action listener so that when you right click on a macro knob, we can get alerted. So let's do that. The action listener is pretty cool. Let's see, juice, action listener, and let's see, I already forgot what the function signature is. I will try to start going to the documentation and doing this instead of copying and pasting everything. I guess it makes it a little easier to follow. Action listener callback. Okay, it's just action listener callback in a string, and I'll show you how to use it. Let's see, why did that? Let's see, there we go. And this is override, of course, because we're going to be overriding the initial behavior, which is nothing, basically, I think. And we're going to put our own logic in it. So, action listener callback, yep. Cool. So, we need to register an action, and something that I haven't done yet that I've been wanting to do is, instead of passing it a string like this, so like if message is equal to, I don't know, macro clicked, which is what, you know, I would normally do, then we do something. I want to not pass an actual string explicitly, because I might, you know, copy paste or whatever error. So I guess I'll go into globals, and let's see, is this a good spot? I guess so. We'll go into here and we'll say, let's make a struct called action commands. And I guess we'll start with let's see, macro toggled. And we'll say, yeah, macro toggled like that. Vitor globals, right, if message is equal to Vitor globals action commands macro toggled. Cool. Okay. I'm gonna keep checking my chat on my phone just in case somebody actually joins in. We might have one person. Happy to have you, whoever you are. Let's see. So that, and what we'll want to be able to do here is, and this is the way I like to do things. Instead of trying to work through the logic before, I kind of, you know, like work through the entire class with the methods and everything first, is I kind of like make a basic outline like this of what I want to do. And then I kind of think about, what do I want to write right here? So like I want to say like macro toggled. We'll say like you know, slider, the one who changed dot set macro state, and then it'll be like, you know, the opposite of whatever it's, you know, set to right now. Something like that. So what we need to do is each, so base dial or base slider needs to have a macro state like this one does. So instead of doing this here, let's do this in global so that they're the same thing. And we will, right here, macro map, get rid of this. And we will say, where do we need it? Right here, at the very least. So, we're going to use it in a couple places. So let's say using macro is equal to Viator globals macro learn state. And then now we would just do this. Oh wait, is macro yeah, macro is a protected word, so we got to say can I just do this? Macro state? Not quite. Let's see. What is this giving me right here? If I do macro state, I'm doing something really dumb. Oh wait, I called it macro. Oh yeah, no, that's correct. Wait, so maybe I should just do this. Then okay, yeah. That, then that, get rid of that. What? No, what's wrong with this? No type name globals. Yes, there is. Create. Wait. Macro learn state. And then, oh, okay, I think that'll work the way it is. Okay. Then we will do this. Okay. Now, I guess this is a little confusing. What would be a better wording for this? I mean, I think macro state would be good. Why doesn't it like, do I have macro state somewhere else? Oh wait, am I stupid? Can I just do this? Macro state? Yeah. That's what it is. I was just one level off. So let's do that. Okay, where are the other ones? Shouldn't I be getting a warning or an error from the other ones? Yeah, like this. And then I think I'm just being dumb. Yeah, let's just leave it like that for these. Or actually, this one could be macro state, right? Yeah, okay. And then that way, when we go into base slider, let's do the same thing. Let's put a private section. And then let's get this here macro state. We need to actually include, what's it called? I'm in widgets right now, which this would be GUI. So this should be the level, right? Wait, so we're in widgets. So we go out once, we're in GUI, then we go out and we're in source, right? Oh, but I spelled include wrong, like I always do. Okay, and this is gonna be just globals.h. Yeah. Okay. This will take a second to. Yeah, there we go. Now what we can do is we'll say if is equals to macro state on. We will set ourselves a color. What am I looking for? Color. And then let's just make it whatever the default purple is for right now. And then we'll do g.fill rect. And we'll say get local bounds. But we need to also give this an opacity. So with alpha, I don't know, maybe 25%. Okay. We're almost there. Now we just need to when. Oh, wait, we might not even need the listener. Well, actually, we may need to. I'm just going to, instead of pondering existence, I'm going to just do it. So let's see. I think I could go to the editor. So we're in our macro toggled. Oh, you know what we need to do is this. This is what it is. So we need to be able to broadcast an action change. So that's what we'll do on the slider. Action broadcaster. This is really easy. You just let's see. I'm just gonna implement the right click. So this is what void mouse down, and I forgot what the signature is. Actually, I can probably look. What is it? Probably just component mouse down. Yes, event. Okay, we'll put that in here. This will be juice. Let's. So then we go in here and we'll say mouse down. Where did I put it? Over here. Okay. And mouse down. If event dot, what is it? Mods dot is right button down. We will do something. Let's see if we can reach this point. So let's put a debug statement right here. I mean a breakpoint. I don't know if we need to add a listener to the dials. We'll see. Let's just run and see what happens. All right, let's see what happens when I right click this bad boy. Oh, we got there. Okay, I don't need a listener. That's good. So what we'll do is, so we need to broadcast a change, which is really easy. Just send action message, and then we'll do that Viator globals action commands macro toggled, and oh, but then what? We need to know what its ID is. This might get messy because we say message macro toggled. Yeah, we only get message as an input, so it's not like we can get the component unless we could also implement mouse down here. And we'll say something like this. So mouse down. And we will, I guess, make a pointer. Or I'm sorry, this is going to be a, what is it? Viator GUI widgets base slider pointer. Let's do slider or I don't know, macro. I guess we'll just say macro slider. We'll set it to null pointer. This is going to be very similar to, what was the other spot that we had this kind of pattern? It has something to do with, yeah, so if we go into the editor rack, I think we have, yeah, so dragging editor equals null pointer. So whenever we drag an editor, we set this equal to that editor so that we know what it is, and then when we're done with it, we don't do anything with it. So let's just go over there and make sure. Dragging editor is not equal to null pointer. If it's null pointer, return. Okay. Set top left position. Continue. We just need to set it to null pointer when we're done. Okay. Because that will definitely be a memory leak. And now that I'm thinking about it, I was thinking about it as I was talking. Is this even going to help us? If we go into here, and let's grab the right mouse click thing. We're gonna say if auto macro slider, I guess, equal try to dynamic cast the no, what am I doing? So what we need is to start by knowing what component just gave us mouse down. So if dynamic cast to what is it? Viator GUI widgets base slider, and then this will be, I guess it'll be events event component, And then I think this needs to be pointer right there. Okay. So we're saying if the event that triggered this is a base slider. Cool. The one thing we're going to need to make sure is that we don't have an issue with the order of operations, but the basic idea here is going to be to get the macro map and add a mapping. So I think we're going to give each of these macro dials an ID of like whatever their parameter ID is. So we'll say const auto ID to map is equal to macro slider get component ID. And by default, like right now, that's not going to be anything. So we'll go into parameters. We don't need this console drive. And we can reuse these graphic ones because we have 10, so we can just reuse that to be the macros. So we'll take graphic and we'll replace with what is this macro? Let's see. Okay, that seems correct. All right. Now, is anybody trying to use any of that stuff? Let me also get rid of, I saw it right here. Yep, console drive right there. Don't need that. Okay. The only place I think this would be used probably be in here. So yeah, let's get rid of that. I mean, we can get rid of all of this. We can get rid of all this too while we're here. Okay. So then we go into our main plugin processor. We need to make sure that these all say, let's see, we don't want console drive. Now these, we're going to do the same thing. Graphic and replace with, let me make sure these are the only ones. Yeah, okay. Cool. Okay, I think that's good. I guess I will just build to make sure that nothing's wrong with those parameters. Oh wait, those parameters didn't have the extra ID added to it, right? No, okay, good, that's correct. Okay, no crash. Cancel. So what we need to do is add the component ID to those sliders. So we will go into this right here. We'll change this into a regular loop so we have the index. Okay, and then this will be that. And since our parameter IDs are just macro 1 through 10, we'll do macro that set component ID to be macro plus juice string I plus 1 should be 1 to 10. And now we might be at the point where we can see if we get the correct thing here, the ID. Oh, well, this is the idea of the macro to max. So, to map. So let's rename that after we test this. All right, so macro 2. Oh, all right, let's see. We're not getting anything, so it's possible. Let's see. Let's see if we get here at least. Because it might be that we did something wrong in this, what do we call that? If statement. I wonder if, the problem might be that event component is returning the editor, not the dial. All right, let's see. I'm not getting there, so I think. Okay, I'm not getting it. So maybe I really do need to add the listener. So this, and then I guess true for nested. Okay, let's see if that works. Oh, it could be that since we're already consuming. Yeah, I know. Okay, I know what it is. I think what we need to do. Oh, never mind. Okay. That's good. All right, there. Yep, okay. ID to map is macro 2. Okay, so let's do this. Let's a couple things before I forget. Let's loop through all the macro knobs and remove the listeners on the destructor before we forget. Let's see. Macro knobs. Macro dot remove mouse listener. Is that what it is? Yeah. Okay. What's wrong with this? What? It's not macro nodes? For auto macro. What's wrong with this? Am I blind? What did I do? What? What did I do? Okay, nothing. It's just not updating, I guess. No cursor, no vibe coding. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I do use ChatGPT a lot, but I usually don't have it do everything for me. It's better to just give it like a very small specific problem to do. Another good thing that it's good at is give it a whole bunch of code and say, write some nice comments for this code. And then cursor, I don't even know what that is. So, why does it think there's an error in the curly braces? Let's reload it and make sure that it's not just caching something weird. This is strange. Okay, so it didn't even fix it when I comment that out. So it's being weird. I'm going to leave it like that. Let's see. What if I close it? Save. It definitely is going to be a big issue because whenever I find myself using it a lot, there's like a moment where I'm like, oh my God, I don't know how to code anymore. But it's really good at, like, if you give it, like, I don't know, a difference equation, you're like, explain this to me like I'm an idiot. It does a really good job of explaining math and code. All right, so that might be fixed. Except, I don't even know. This is weird. One more reload. And if that doesn't do it, I'm going to ignore it. Yeah, okay. It might actually be fixed if I... Oh, there it goes. Okay, good. No idea. All right, so what was I even doing? So we're removing the listener. Okay, so then we say ID to map, but this is the ID to, let's say selected macro. And then yeah, it's definitely, I mean, there's definitely a lot of progress I've made that I wouldn't have made without ChatGPT and like understanding things and, you know, just like making my coding better and stuff. So, oh, let's do this. So the whole point, macro slider dot set, what is it, macro state? Oh wait, hold on. Let's see, it's base slider. So what did I call it in here? It's I didn't call it anything. I didn't make a yeah, okay. So let's just set macro, or let's just say toggle, because that's all we're gonna do. Toggle macro state, and this doesn't even need to take anything in. We'll just say toggle macro state. So cursor's an ID. IDE. Oh, you're saying, oh yeah, Claude coding, yeah. Well, I already pay for ChatGPT, so I might look into the Claude coding, but when you pay for ChatGPT, it makes a huge difference in the quality of the code. So let's just take this and say, can we just do this? We probably have to, this is an enum. So I think we could do this. Like, we just static cast to macro state, static cast that. I think that'll do it. And then when we, oh, and also we need to call repaint, of course. Cursor's the IDE, yeah, and you use Claude, yeah. Actually, I used ChatGPT on the web app for the longest time. And the first time a couple weeks ago, I was like, I'm gonna look and see if there's a desktop app version, and there is. And I went and downloaded it, and I asked my first question, and it ran 100 times faster than the web app version. And I was like, this is sick. All right, let's see if our knob goes purple when we click it. Yeah, I'll check it out. I mean, I've used Claude in the past. Like before I paid for ChatGPT, it would give me something that's just like not correct at all, and I would go to Claude and it would try to help me. All right, let's see. Did we get purple? Nope. No purple. All right, hold up. Let's see. I probably did something wrong. Let's see. Toggle. And let's go into base slider and see if the state actually changes. All right, so selected macro. Very good. Toggle. Okay, so now it should be on. Oh, yeah. I forgot to put the exclamation point somehow. Oh, wait. I'm an idiot. Wait. Learn state is equal to... This is dumb. This isn't a performant part of the code. So let's see, we're gonna say if in macro learn state is equal to macro state off. This is another good thing to use ChatGPT for. You write dumb code that works and you say, can you make this better? What's the warning? It's always true. You are incorrect. It is not always true. Oh wait, also I forgot. Repaint, I missed it. I must have deleted it and I didn't notice. Oh, it's still not. Let's see, I missed it. It's going on the... Why is it going on the else block instead of actually in there? What if macro learn state is off, which it is by default, on, else. Why is hold up. Well, let me just see what macro learn state is at the moment. It says off. Man, am I stupid? Right button down. Oh, I wonder if is clicking the button toggling this more than once? Okay, one. No. Okay. So what am I an idiot? What am I doing? Okay, sanity check. Let's do this. Hmm. Okay. Macro learn state off. What am I? Is this a? Is this because I put the definition of macro state in the shared? Okay, is my audio back? All right. Now, if I quickly restart the stream like that, does it continue on YouTube? I guess so. All right, so here's the deal. I'm not using Wavelink anymore. This is pitiful. I'm just gonna have to start. I could use a real microphone. That's gonna be kind of annoying. I'm not gonna be able to. I'm gonna have to figure out how to put my like vocal plugin on it. I'll figure that out, but I can't use Wavelink anymore. This is crazy. I don't even know how long the audio was out. Anyway, okay, macro 2. What happens if I click another one? Macro 3. All right, so what we got to do, I guess we'll go in here and we need a way to just say off. So let's go do that. Let's say toggle mac. Let's say enable macro state, I guess. Const bool is on, or let's say should be on. Okay. And then we will go here. Enable macro state, and we'll say this. And do that. Okay, and then now we can just do this. For auto. I'll just say macro. In the macro knobs, we need to turn them all off. Enable macro state false. Okay, that turns them all off. And then yeah, that should be good. Let's see. Okay, macro 2. Macro, oh, it's not turning off. Oh, because we need repaint. If my audio cuts out, you know, y'all can just scream at me and let me know in the chat. Okay. Oh, it's still not turning off. Why? We go through all the macro knobs and we set them to false. Then we toggle. Yeah, I mean, that should be correct. Let's see. Let's see what we get. Oh, because, yeah. Well, actually, let's just do this first. Not get ahead of myself. Let's see if we're getting what I expect. All right, so okay, so this first one should be false because that's the one we didn't click. The second one's false because we're going through each one and saying false. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Then okay, that's correct. I just forgot to I so I don't no. We don't have to do an else statement because when paint passes, it'll just ignore this and it should turn it off. Right? Let's look at my project. Let's see here. Not the DSP. Let's see, widgets maybe. Macro dial maybe. Oh. Macro learn state on. Oh, maybe I do. Okay. So let's do this. Let's do this. On 25%, else 0, and then no if statement. Okie dokie. Let's see. Okay. It's not turning off. Let's see. I don't understand. I mean, what if? Oh yeah, because okay, yeah, because I'm doing this inside the if statement where, I need to do it first. We do. Oh, plus I was using the wrong. Yeah, I was using the wrong thing anyway. I was using the wrong variable. So this ought to do it. I think this is better anyway, putting it just first. All right. Macro 2, then macro 3. All right, that's good. Okay, cool. So that's the macros going on and off. So yep, if is right button down. So this is where we would do the add assignment. So the problem is for the assignment, we need add macro assignment. We need to get the param of the and did I shoot myself in the foot here? We need to somehow then get yeah, I think what we would probably need to do is Is right button down. So we've told the macro map which macro is open for mapping. We also need to tell it that it's in macro learn mode, probably. Let's do the other slider because we need to do that anyway. We'll do a base slider for this. Okay. This will pretty much be the same thing as this, except, I mean, actually not really. Yeah, let's just, okay, so base slider. All right, let's do this. This needs to just be super basic, so we'll do base slider, which is a juice slider. Okay. We need GUI basics. Let's go ahead and go into the editors that we have. So let's do the clipper, I guess. And we will include we just go out once and then we go to widgets. No. Wait, so we go out, we're in GUI. Yeah, okay, so that should be right. Widgets, and then this will be base slider. Okay. Hopefully that goes away. Okay. So, yeah, now this is going to be gone. Okay. So let's do this one might be able to be just a no. We'll do it like this. Oh, forgot to say public. Okay. I don't know if we need any private section right now, but I'm just going to do it. This is also going to be wrapped with what's it called, this namespace right here. Cool. Reload to get rid of that warning. Okay, so this will be base slider. Like this. Then a destructor. Did I forget to override it? Yes. And paint. And in here we'll call the regular sliders paint method. Then what we'll do is in clipper editor, instead of a slider, this is going to be a Viator GUI widget base slider. This is what we'll use for all of our sliders that aren't the macro dials. Okay. And what we could do, let me look at macro map one more time. I think this had this dumb thing. No, it just has current macro key, not current param. So what I'm thinking is, in this add macro assignments, if learning is not on, does this turn off when I click the same one? Just make sure. Well, why is it taking forever? Okay, so if I click and then I do a different one and then I click, it doesn't turn off if I re-trigger it. So why is that? I would think that it would, because I have, yeah, if it's, does it trigger both times? There's once, and I already forgot which one I clicked, so that's great. Oh, 3, okay. Yeah, okay. So why is it not going off? Toggle macro state. Let's see. Okay, macro state is on. So then let's do it again. And it's on. All right, so I guess maybe this isn't going to work. Well, no, it should, because it's doing it for the other ones. Or maybe not. Yeah, maybe instead of talk, maybe I'll, well, actually, no, that's what I want. The toggle behavior. So, okay, so if I do this in a big stupid if statement, does it fix it? If state, macro state off m macro learn state is equal to on, else off. Okay, if it's off, we equal on, or we equal off. Okay, so let's see if that fixes the logic here. All right, macro 2 on. Macro 2 on still. Isn't that just great? And I didn't do the same mistake if we do a comparison. And then that, and then okay, so maybe make it more explicit. Because is it possible that it could have a difference? I mean, no. I mean, I don't think so. Now it says off. If it's off, make it on. Oh, yeah, because, yeah, of course. Yeah, okay. So else if on still. I don't get it. Let me go back to the else. Okay, so oh yeah, okay. Yeah, it's because of the loop. Only clear the other sliders, not the ones clicked. Okay. Yep. So yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yep. I put that, yeah, okay. Oh, wait. I think I copied too much. Okay. Then we get rid of this. So we were turning it off. And since it was not toggled until after, it just kept resetting. So this should work now. Go back into here. Get rid of all this nonsense. Because this is good. All right. Okay. Okay, turns off. Yep. Okay, good. All right, so good. So this is the thing after debugging. What was I doing? Oh, and we need to tell, let's see. Okay, so what we need to do is inside of changed, we need to set the macro maps mapping state. So this is going to be here, set learn state, macro state change. Okay. Set macro learn state off. But we only get the string. So I think set macro learn state. Okay, so we need to just do it here. So here. And then we need to be able to get our state from our macro. So let's do that. So this is going to be get macro state, return m macro learn state. Oh, and let's follow the same convention for the rest of them and actually put it in the implementation file. This is going to be get macro state, but not void. This is going to be macro state. And then it's going to be return macro state. Not sure why it's erroring yet, but we'll take a look. So does it not like this? Yeah, okay. Probably, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Well, I think are you supposed to put using at the very, okay, let's just do that. I'm not sure if that's convention or not. That might be one of those things that people tell you not to do, but I don't really care. My code's not gonna kill somebody, so do whatever you want. All right, so then we get that, and that should not be an error anymore, right? Oh yeah, okay. I just forgot the qualifier. Cool. So what we'll do now is go into editor and we will do this. Set macro learn state to macro slider dot get macro state. Excellent. Okay. This is looking like some code. Let's do this. Be even more clean codey is to say console macro state is equal to that. And then put macro state here. Then let's debug it and make sure that that's happening. All right, so macro state should be on whenever I click one. Macro stays at the right one. Yes, okay. So then let's go and do the same one. Off. Perfect. Okay, so now our macro map, like the actual macro map class, knows if it is on or not. So now whenever we pass it a param ID, this little check to make sure it's on should be working. Cool. All right, so how do we actually get the we could okay, we might not need the action broadcaster, but I think a change listener would do this for us. So if we go into editor and yeah, let's do that. Change listener. And then this is going to be, I forgot what the signature is for this one. Change listener callback is this. Okie-dokie. Where are we at? Right here. Okay, this is going to be just void. Change listener callback juice. And let's do that and override. Okay. Go. Up to there, and then I really got to start being better at saying everything I'm thinking in my head. Cool. So what we'll do, so this is cool because you can get the source of what changed. So for our case, it's going to be the base sliders. So we're going to say, if source that has changed is like a base slider, then we're going to call macromap.add whatever, and that'll be the parameter ID, and then that's it, right? Yeah, okay, so we need to actually do the change listener callback. So what we do is, okay, so wherever we add the editors, so in editor rack, this will need to be a, I think we're going to have to do multiple levels, which is annoying. I don't know if there's a way around it. I guess we'll go into base slider and we'll say it's also a change broadcaster. Change broadcaster. And then we'll do, I guess the same thing. We'll go get mouse down. Put that in base slider. Then we'll go get the implementation. Mouse down. Okay, this is base slider. And this is going to be send change message. Let's send synchronous change message. We don't want, we want to control the exact order of operations. So let's do that. Okay. Now, for our editor to know about this, basically, man, send change message. Okay. So our editor has to be a listener as well. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if there's a better way to do this, but so we go to the editor of the clipper, which is one of the test things we have. We'll make it a change listener. What do we need? Change listener callback. Okay. This might not work. I might be wrong about this, but it's not like it's too much trouble to try. So let's keep going. So we need this. Okay. Then let's see, where's the actual implementation? Oh yeah, change listener. So here, okie dokie, that's a clipper editor. and that should be fine. And then what we do is in these editors, we'll take these, the sliders, and whenever all these editors are like actually there, we're going to put all the sliders into one array, which will make this easy. But for now, we'll do add change listener, this, and then does it take something else? Once events for all nested child. I think we want true for that, for this to work. Then we'll take this and go into the destructor, remove change listener, this. And then we have to do it all one more time in the plugin rack. I'm not even positive that this is going to work, and it is ugly, but once it is in there, it is there to stay, so it's fine. If it does work, we might be able to optimize, not optimize it, but, you know, make it better, a little cleaner. Editor rack. Okay, editor rack. And then basically we have two places where editors get added, in rebuild and in add editor. Does rebuild call add editor? No, it doesn't. So we need to do this, editor, add change listener, what? Is this because editor is, yeah, so, oh, so yeah, we're gonna have to put this in base editor, actually. Well, wait, no, we're in plugin rack right now. Yeah, so instead of clipper editor, we need to put this, I think we need to put all this stuff in the base editor, which I think solves our cleanliness of the code problem. Let's see here. Where am I? Base editor. This can be private. Cool. That, okay. So go here, delete, delete, delete. Okay. So now can we do this? I think we need to cast it to base editor. So we say if well, editors are, wait, editors, yeah, they're audio processor editors. Okay, so that's fine. Let's do auto. This is dumb. Base editor. Dynamic cast to what is it? Viator editors. Nope. GUI editors. Base editor. And then editor. Let's see. Oh yeah, it needs to be a pointer. Wait, why doesn't this work? Isn't base editor a Audio processor editor, yes. Do I have to get? Yeah, okay. Then let's see here. Add change listener. Oh, it's still not there. We are a base editor. Okay. We are a base editor at the moment, which is a change listener. Wait. I think I'm just making a mistake in. Yeah, okay, so it's going to be well, no, I mean, okay, so right now base editor supposedly is a base editor. Okay. So that means I should have access to anything that's in base editor, which means it's a change listener. Oh wait, is it supposed to be a change broadcaster? Am I being dumb? Add change listener this. Okay. Yeah. And then change listener, and then okay, so is this even necessary? Can't we just do no, I think that's necessary. What does this say? All right. Let's do this also in add editor. So we'll do this right here. And then so what will happen if we go to base slider on mouse down, if it's right click, we send the change message up to the base editor that it's in. But we yeah, this is the object-oriented nightmare. So we would have to have the slide like a array of sliders in base editor, and every time we make an editor, we add to those, which I think is what I did. If we go to editor, base editor. Yeah. Yep. Okay. That's annoying, but that's the way it goes. Is there a different way we could do this? Okay, let's yeah, okay, so a vector of unique pointers of nope, Viator. Do I have no, I don't. Okay, so base editor, that's what this is, right? Yep, base editor needs to know about the base slider. So this will be Viator GUI widgets base slider. This will be M sliders. And what we'll need to do is, for example, we need to get this, or be able to get this, and say get sliders and return this, and this will be a reference. And for example, the clip editor will say git sliders. Oh wait, clipper editor is, oh, it's not a base editor. What? Is this something I just overlooked? Base editor. So let's make this Viator. GUI editors, base editor. Okay. Does that give us a problem here? I think that renders this cast unnecessary now, but we'll come back to that. Should I just make sure that this builds the way it is? We've kind of done a lot of stuff. I don't know if I'm leaving something hanging on. Let's see. Yeah, yep, okay, so this needs to be Viator GUI base editor, yeah. Let's see. Base editor does not take in. So what do we just do this? No, I think, let's see, let's look at the other one. That is, all right, so maybe I just have to, no, I'm not taking in a reference to the processor in here. Yo, what's up? No, I don't see a reference to the audio processor in here. So what am I doing wrong here? Definitely we don't want that. No matching constructor for initialization of requires one argument, but 0 provided. Okay, so I think, does the editor take in the ID? Oh no, it does take in the base processor. I think it doesn't need to. Am I doing anything with it? No. Okay. Okay, let's get rid of that for now. Okay. Let's see, can we build? Let's see here. Drive slider, yeah, because we didn't do it yet. And then out of line definition of base editor. where's this? Wait, didn't I fix this? Base editor. Clipper editor. Oh, base editor. Oh, yeah. Okay, so base editor doesn't. Oh, because audio processor editor requires. Okay, so I think I just have to go back on. Oh, well, hold up. Okay. So go back. Okay. Then okay. Base editor, and now Clipper editor. Clipper editor now needs the processor. So don't I just do this? Okay, and then maybe we can build. I just want it to open. Okay, it opened. All right, so what do we need to do? The whole point of this was to say git sliders, yep, and then say in place back std make unique. Like, is this gonna be a base slider? I guess so. Widgets, base slider, and then this is gonna be the M drive slider. Is this good, or do I need to do move instead? Call to implicitly deleted copy constructor. Yeah, so I think that means I have to do std move. Okay, so is this pushback instead? I think maybe. No. Well, what's the correct way to do this? Let me get the base editor here. And I'm trying to, let's see. Yeah, it is a move only. So why didn't std move do it? But okay, so just do vector sliders. What's wrong with this? Nothing. It just took forever. All right, so then what do we do here? Do we just in place back? No matching function call for to construct at. Oh, yeah, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, just pointers. Okay. That makes sense. Does it matter if I do in place back or push back? It says push back. Okay. And I think I probably have to worry about cleaning it up. Oh, right, because it's a vector. Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. Okay. So, okay. Now we've got that added in there. And the whole point of this was what? We go into editor rack. I'm kind of lost now. What we want. Okay, let's just start over what we want. Okay, so we mouse down. If it's a right click, we send a change out from base slider. Base slider is then captured. Like the clipper editor. So I'm getting confused. Okay, we right click the slider. We want to capture that so that we know which slider we clicked. So we're going to do a change message, because change message callback, you get the source component. And who owns that? That's going to be the base slider, the base editor. So man, so base editor. Okay, and then I guess the base editor also needs to be a change listener. Then we do this, and then we'll do send synchronous change message when it gets because the source of its change message callback is going to be that slider, but we need a method to add all the listeners to sliders. Okay, so add change listeners, and what this will do is loop through all the sliders in mSliders, and we'll say slider, slider, add change listener this, and I guess a true for the children. Wait, does change listener not Oh, it doesn't. Okay. And then we also need to remove them. Remove change listeners. Remove change listener from this. And then what we'll do is at the end of each editor, add change listeners. And then in the destructor, remove change listeners to clean up that. So now the Clipper editor is going to send its change up through the plugin rack change listener. And plugin rack has the change listener already. Okay. So we're getting there. Change listener callback. I guess we're gonna just do another send. Or this needs to be a broadcaster as well. Change broadcaster. Send change. Send change message. And finally, that will go up to the editor. So we need to go, the editor is a listener, so hopefully we can go up here, take the rack, and do add change listener. Nope, why not? Rack, dot add change listener to this. Okay, and then rack, remove change listener. Okay, and then hopefully we go in here, change listener. We say let's do this for fun. Const auto ID equal to so source. Or actually, let's do this. If auto slider is equal to dynamic cast to our base slider our source, and if that is indeed a slider, we can do this. Let's debug slider, get component ID. And let's make sure we actually give it an ID here. So let's say slider component ID is this. Okay, that's a lot of stuff. I'll be super surprised if it works. Okay, so if I click on Clipper, so let's check each one. So let's go to the very lowest state, the base slider, then base editor, yes, the next one. Okay, and then in the rack, I already forgot. Do we have enough for the actual editor? No. Let's see, because that might be what's wrong. Okay, so let's see what we get here. Okay, mouse button down, good. Okay, here's the base editor. Okay, here's the editor rack. So maybe the problem is that we're getting the editor rack as the so let's do this real quick to see. And editor rack doesn't necessarily have a component ID, but let's see if we reach that point right there. Okay, there's in the slider, the editor, the rack. Yeah, okay, so that's the problem. We're getting sources actually. Oh wait, I think I might have just made a mistake here. I think source dot oh, maybe not. I thought there were other, yeah, okay. Yeah, because you're taking in the change broadcaster. So I think what would need to happen would be somehow every time we add an editor, make some kind of method where we can add all of the sliders to the main editor as listeners, so like, or as broadcasters. I'm already adding it to, yeah, that might not be a problem. So let's get rid of all of this stuff. Base editor. So that was in base editor. That's good. Oh, we don't need. Oh, well, actually, wait. Okay, who calls add change listeners? It's the rack. No, wait. I'm confusing myself again. Who's calling this? Oh, the derived editors, right? Yeah, add change listeners. I think what we need to do instead of all that, okay, so just like I said, pretend what I want to do is, but that's okay. So the problem is the editor rack being another component. If only this were the editor. Okay, so, Hmm. I should be able to get this sliders, right? Yeah, get sliders. Okay. To change broadcaster. Right. Okay, so we don't need the listener. So if it's a broadcaster, it doesn't need that either. Just the base slider needs it. So then what we'll do that, okay, rack. We don't need it here. All we need, let me just build and make sure that I removed everything I need to. I don't think I did. I think need this. So we need this, remove all change listeners, and then there's also a add change listeners. Where's that at? Yeah. Okay. Okay, there's one more somewhere. Yep, the rack. Okay. Oh, and one right there. Okay, built. Okay, so I think all I want to do is so what we'll do when we add an editor, we need to tell the parent editor to loop through all of the derived editors and then loop through all of those sliders and say add change listener. Probably remove change listener and then add change listener. Okay, that's probably what we want. So I think maybe that means that the editor rack needs to send a action message. Yeah, so let's do that. Action broadcaster, and then the editor, main editor, will say add action listener this, and this is the one that you need the bool as well. Oh, maybe not. What am I thinking of? What? Wait, is oh, we're not an action listener. Oh, I deleted it. Yeah, exactly. I said we didn't need it. Action listener. Action listener callback. I don't know why it didn't do it for me. Because there is action listener callback string message. juice string message. Remove action listener from this. Okay, then we got to actually implement action listener callback. Okie dokie, and then what we'll do is go into globals and we'll say action commands. We'll say editor added. Okay. Go here and we'll say if message is equal to globals action commands editor added. We do something. What do we do? Oh, we loop through all the editors. mrac, and then is there a get editors method? I don't think there is. So I got to do this. Okay, return editors. Okay, and then get editors. Okay, and then loop through all the sliders. Oh, I need to let's see. I need to if auto base editor is equal to dynamic cast to Viator GUI. Nope. GUI editors, and then base editor pointer, and then we do editor, and let's see, I think we gotta do get. So then we'll say, now we'll do a for loop auto edit, actually, sorry, slider in base editor dot get sliders. And then now we'll say slider, remove change listener by default. This, okay. And then I guess just add it. Okay. Okay, so is this correct? The only thing we need to do is send a change, an action message when we add an editor. So we'll say right here, add, but we got to do it after pushback. Okay, so that should be fine. So then we should do send action message, and that's going to be Viator globals action editor added. So that's going to be here in rebuild editors, and also we have an add editors right here. Okie dokie. So, So let's see. Does the plugin editor add the rack as an action listener? Yes, it does. Okay. All right. Let's see what we get. Huge. Oh, but it didn't work. Let's see. Let's see if we are reaching the change listener at all. No, okay. That's kind of good. So what we'll do is say base slider, send synchronous change message. Let's make sure that's at least running. Oh, sorry, I didn't do a debug. I think this may just be a some kind of reference issue. So we could also make sure that this is running. Let's see if we're reaching that. Oh, we're not. Okay. So let's see. Let's see if we get into base editor. Let's see if we get the message. Okay. Let's see what we get. We're not even getting the action. So the rack needs to be an action listener, which it is. And it is definitely let's do that, and then that, and make sure that that's being run. Oh, wait, right now this is happening on start. So, okay, so are we adding those sliders? Okay, so that sends the change message, and it never made it to the editor somehow. Send action message. Okay. And we're not even getting, oh wait, I didn't put a breakpoint there. Let's see. Okay, we're not getting there somehow. How is it possible? Okay, so rack, add action listener. Okay, then the rack, send action message, editor added, and editor added. Oh, you know what? What we're going to need to do is see what order this happens. So in the constructor, when we add a action listener, is that before or after? Ah, the action message is happening before. And then we add the listener. So where is that happening? Okay, so okay. I think we just need to do this. Go to the editor rack, and instead of putting this rebuild editors in the constructor, we'll just make it public and then call it in the editor. Yeah, okay. Okie dokie. Oh, it already is public. Or is it? Okay, hold up. I think I'm an idiot. I think I forgot to. Okay. Yeah, okay. I just had a that was crazy. I don't know what I was thinking. That's how confusing all this has been. So let's do rebuild editors, and then in here we add the action listener, and then we'll do mrac rebuild editors. Okay, and then we will check all these bad boys out right here. Okay. Oh, let's see. I got a linker error. Rebuild editors referenced from. Let's see. Oh, did I forget to yeah, I just forgot to. I didn't press Command Z enough times. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Excellent. All right. All right. So change. Okay. Moment of truth. Let's see if we can get this going. Oh, hell yeah, brother. Beautiful. So now. All right. So processor ref. Add macro assignment. Const auto slider map slider ID to map. there, there. Oh man, okay, so we're adding it. All right. So let's see if we can get this. Okay, so I think I can just go into the other project. I think the update part is pretty simple. Go to the processor. Here we go. Update parameters. I put it in parameter change. Okay. Okay, here we go. A good old copy paste. That always works, huh? All right, parameter changed. Okay. So processors, this is going to be Viator ESP processors, base processor. And is this all the same? Okie dokie. Oh, that's not great. Let's see. Let's make sure that we are doing this just to make sure that we actually clicked it. Okay, and then we'll go into macro map and we will make sure that we are getting to that point right there. So let's just see what we get from there. Oh, I should have put a breakpoint instead of a debug in the other one, but that's okay. Okay. Oh, okay, let's see. Is learning disabled? True. Okay, so that part didn't work. So what we gotta do is, we gotta see which one's happening first. Is this happening first or is this happening first? All right, so there. Okay, and then add macro assignment. Okay. Wait. I think I thought about this incorrectly when I put those breakpoints. Hold up. Well, oh, you know what? This is the problem. Okay, it's kind of the same issue. They're all going to be off. So we need to go and instead of set macro learn state, well, no, that should be correct. So let's go into macro map, and then in the part where it says this, Okay, so let's see what order everything happens in. So nobody should be on right now. Okay. So then, yeah, we probably don't need to see that one. Okay, so state is on, then it's off. Yeah, okay. Then it's off, and that is because of why. Something right here that's going to be similar. So it's going to be... I might just ask ChatGPT. Yeah. Talking right after. Oh, it's telling me the code that he wrote is incorrect. That's great. You need to compare the pointers on their addresses. I don't think that's what it is, but we'll see. Wait. No. Is, what's it called? Okay, so let's check this one. So check set macro learn state. Let's see if, does anybody else call this? Oh, this might be why. Why is this here? I don't think we want that. On. Okay. Add macro assignment. Excellent. Oh, but it's not working. Let's see. Let's make sure that we hit this adding whatever, which I guess we are. But here, okay, so okay, and then maybe this isn't being run. Let's see. Yeah, I guess that's what it is. Okay, so why is that not being run? This is saying, so go through the processor, go through the modules. So if it's a base processor, auto tree. Module process get state if param is equal to param ID, which let's see. That should be running. Oh, oh, I know what's up. We didn't put any attachments. So we'll do, where's my macro dials? Here. So we'll do an array of std unique pointer to juice audio processor value tree state slider attachment 10, and that will be, oh wait, did that wrong, like that. And we're gonna say macro attaches, and we go where we set up the macro knobs. Okay, and then we'll do oh wait, we need to do this instead. This needs to be an std vector of unique pointers. And then what we'll do is macro attaches, we'll say I equal to I'm getting tired. Make unique juice audio processor value tree state slider attachment. This is going to be processor ref get tree state. This is going to be macro plus juice string I, and then it's going to be the macro like this. Okay, I think that should be good. So let's see if we reach that point now. Check. Looks like my video's frozen. Let's see. Let me go. Check. Maybe it's just my webcam. Camera, is my stream gonna shut down if I... let me ignore that for a second. What's wrong with my camera? It won't let me select this. Oh, great. It won't let me open the camera properties. That's cool. That's fine. I'll just turn it off for now. I'm almost done, I think. Besides this, macro attaches. This is going to be... I might have just made a stupid pointer error right here. Let's see. This macro, and it macro dials. Oh, in here, I guess. In place back. In place. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. this is going to be this. In place back. And I think that's probably our issue. Oh, this is going to be parameter ID. What did I give it? Macro. Oh, it's got to be +1. Third time's the charm. Camera's still broken. That's cool. It's not about my face. It's about the code. Bruh. What? Hold up. Did I? Let's see. Macro plus juice string I +1. So that should be macro 0 to macro 1 to macro 10. What's wrong with that? Yeah, macro 1 to macro 10. Oh, wait. Is that it? Brother. Let's see. Init macro knobs. Macro attaches dot in place back. Make unique. Macro. What's wrong with this? What M.A. Crow. Oh, yeah. Duh. It's got to be I +1. Okay, and then plus ID. Oh, I'm gonna have to also do it here. so let's see. Did I leave any breakpoints in? And while I'm here, let's do 2 clippers to make sure that if it works, it's actually not changing both of them. Okay, so macro. Okay, so let's just see what happens. Boy, I sure hope this works. All right. Oh. Man, I think, did I, what did I set the range as? All the way up here somewhere. Okay, gain, whatever, that's stuff that doesn't actually exist. Okay, macro 0 to 1. That could be why. Let's see. Oh yeah, I made the macros negative 15. Okay. Oh. All right, let's see. And replace 15 with 1. Okay, so oh, come on. Does the macro map have that parameter ID? Adding to map. Okay. All right, let's see. Adding macro to the drive. Is that backwards? Oh. Let's see. We didn't reach that, but did we reach... parameter change isn't being called at all. Why is that? Is that because we didn't put any listeners? We didn't. So what we'll do is do this, and then we'll say tree state, add parameter listener. This is going to be this, and then it's going to be macro plus that plus ID. Oh, string, capital S. Okay. And that's this. Oh, did I, no, we got tree state listener. What did I do? Add parameter listener. I'm pretty sure this is correct. Where's it at? Add parameter listener. Oh, wait. Don't you say add parameter listener? Oh, the ID then this. Okay, that's what it was. Okay. Oh boy, I sure hope this works. Oh, thank God. And look at that. It's only turning that one. And then we click that one. Now they're both going. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, perfect. We obviously need to do some other things. We didn't implement the delete really, but now that that's working, I think that'll be fine. Then we need to also color the dial purple whenever it gets mapped. And then we probably want to have one color for each macro so that it doesn't get confusing. But okay, that is definitely good for tonight. And let me switch over here. Oh, and my my webcam is still frozen, but these are my patrons, so I thank them very much. I will be back streaming on Monday at 7 CST. Thank you all for watching. That'll be it. See ya.